format that we did for the last candidates. So we'll start with opening statements from Kanani Espinoza first.
Hello, thank you for attending the debate today, and thank you for Elections Director Tasha McRae for putting it together, along with her board and the executive board. I am Kanani Espinoza, and I am running for Vice President. I am running for Vice President along with my ticket because I feel I am very qualified for the position. I have been in CSUN for 2 years and have served in multiple boards, director positions, assistant director positions, and have served my students, the students of UNLV, the best that I have been able to. I have a drive and creativity to run the organization, and every time I'm at a CSUN event, new ideas pop into my head that could better the students at UNLV. As Vice President, you work with the directors, and I hope to serve all of the directors and be the supervisor for them to create a great relationship and have a fun and hardworking experience. And then I wish we could all come together as a team with my ticket to provide the best experience for the students at UNLV.
Thank you, Kanani. James.
First off, I'd like to thank everybody here for showing up. I'd like to thank the Vice President and the moderator for moderating this event. I'm running for Vice President, as you know, and I want to tell you what the job of the Vice President is. And it's essentially to manage all the directors, the associate directors, and assistant directors, to all of these people who plan and execute all of our CSUN events. So that's the job, is to kind of manage and oversee them. I believe that I am the right person for this position because I get along with people. I work together with people effectively as a team, and these people are the ones that get the things done, that all the CSUN events, these are the people that help execute that. And as a part of that, I help manage the daily marketing table, which is pretty much our daily face of CSUN and what events we're doing and what's going on. That is our face to the students. So that is a daily thing that I have to manage, and I have to do the schedule for all of the organization. That includes senators as well. And I have to make sure that all the flyers and materials are out of the table and everything is being properly marketed. And also just assisting everybody in planning these events, from our parties in the PIDA to our educational events such as our open houses held on Mondays before our meetings. And that is why I feel like I'm qualified for the position, and I would appreciate your vote to keep CSUN moving forward. Thanks.
As the supervisor of CSUN directors, do you have any ideas on how to expand the benefits directors offer to students?
And we get 2 minutes?
We have 2 minutes, and we'll start with Kanani.
Okay, so as the Vice President, you are the supervisor for the directors and assistant directors. These people are the ones who directly serve the UNLV community. They put on the events, they host all of the organization events, they do so many things. My ideas are to still have 5 director positions like we currently do in CSUN. One of them would be a communications director. The communications director would be in charge of social media outlets, marketing, and organization outreach. We do most of these things already, but to expand on a larger scale. In addition would be academic affairs director. This director would be very important to the CSUN world because academic affairs director would be in charge of a textbook reform that my ticket wants to put together, which would help benefit the students of UNLV immensely. In addition to TED Talks, which we can collaborate with Michael Grima, who puts on the TED Talks, and create a better relationship with CSUN. The director of NSA would be in charge of lobbying and voter registration to get UNLV students in charge of that, as well as the Freshman Leadership Council and the Board of Regents. I would also like to have a marketing director who would design a CSUN app for us, so all the UNLV students could know where the marketing table is per day, all of the scholarship information, voting, everything would be on the CSUN app, as well as a campus life director. This campus life director would be one of the crucial directors because in addition to campus life, you also have athletics. And so the current administration at CSUN has broken bridges with athletics, and our administration wants to rebuild those bridges to create a better atmosphere for the UNLV students, putting all students involved because that is a major part of the UNLV campus. So these are just a couple ideas of how I'd like to expand the director positions as vice president.
Thank you, Kanani. James, would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, you have 2 minutes to respond to, as the supervisor of CSUN directors, do you have any ideas on how to expand the benefits directors offer to students?
Well, I feel like I have a lot of great ideas. There was a lot of ideas rattled off by my candidate, which is great. But I believe in simplicity, and with so many different new directorship positions that would be coming about, making it more complex and having students do this and that is fine. But at the end of the day, we're all students, and we all know that. And we dedicate our time to the organization. But we need to focus on the stuff that we already have doing, like our marketing table. We got to continue building on our marketing table, whether it's a mobile cart or some sort of incentive program that we can get students more engaged. I would love to have the marketing director, kind of delegate more tasks for that to better serve the department. Also, the Rebelpalooza concert series. I believe this is a great thing that was just started by the current administration, and I want to expand that in the future, so that maybe we can hold the concert series instead of just in the spring. Maybe we could do that in the fall. I believe a lot of students would really like that. And the campus life director, would be the one in charge of that. Also, NSA, Nevada Student Affairs Director, with the open houses and the educational events. These are awesome events that we get to hear from Board of Regents and assemblymen, assemblywomen, and we need to get more students to come to those and to be engaged and know what's going on at the higher levels. So I'd like to expand those and reach out to more people in the community as well for that. And last but not least, let's get a viral video contest going, so we can highlight all our great student works that CSUN can sponsor. We can partner up with them. Thank you.
Okay, Kanani, you have 1 minute to rebut.
Okay. So, like James said, we are all still students, and I support that. I am the current student outreach director, and I know I am a student. However, from my opponent, I have heard no new ideas, minus the viral video. Rebelpalooza has been going on. It went on last year. It's going on this year. That's not a new idea. My ideas are to keep still 5 director positions, but just expand them in a way that it would enhance student life on campus. And so nothing new per se, but just reorganize them so that they are more efficient for the students. I know James keeps talking about the marketing table because he is marketing director, but that is not all that CSUN is about. CSUN puts on great events, and one of the biggest complaints within CSUN members is the marketing table, because they are students and they don't have time to be at the marketing table for 2 hours passing out flyers while people are in classes not reaching students. There are many more options that we can do to reach students and let them know about our activities.
Thank you, James. You have 1 minute.
Well, I do believe that our marketing table is something that we should keep, and it is a job of being a part of an organization that you should commit to some of the duties that you're obligated to do, such as your 2-hour minimum at the marketing table. And this is something that I have currently been in the process of doing, is trying to make it more accessible and easier for students to get out there and market without just standing at a table and passing out a flyer. I know that these things are effective, because if you get something in the hands of students that does work, it gives them something to go home with. There's plenty of ways that we could go out there and email students and reach out to them otherwise, but I do feel like marketing is a huge part of CSUN, and it's very integrated and complex. So we can sit here and talk about how bad the marketing table is now, but I actually think it has done great work in CSUN.
President, you will oversee an array of duties and tasks. What skills do you possess that will allow you to
the skills that I possess, I'm a people person. You know, that's kind of what I do. That's why I'm involved in organizations such as CSUN. It's one of the organizations where I feel like I have a purpose for what I'm doing. It's not just for fun or just for social reasons, but it's actually for a bigger purpose. And from my experience working in the real world and being a student, I've learned to interact with different people on a daily basis, people with different opinions, especially in CSUN. That is where we have a huge diverse crowd of people, and being able to actually talk with each person individually and get to know them on a personal level, I think that's huge. And as my experience in the marketing department, since we're so integrated with every other department in CSUN, I think that is a huge asset that I can carry, is because I do touch and talk to everybody and try to build those relationships with people and not try to click up with certain groups within the department. So that is a big thing that I can bring to the table, is I actually care to get to know people, and I want to do that. So
Thank you. Kanani?
Okay, so it was based off skills. The skills of the vice president, of course, have to be personality, because you work with 5 directors as well as the entire UNLV community, and you're the face of the executive board with your other members, and you represent CSUN as a student government. I love people as well. I'm a people person. However, one of the biggest skill sets I have is I came into CSUN when I was just a freshman at UNLV. I came in right out of high school, and I was lucky enough to be an assistant director of student involvement. And so I think that shows that I have great skills to come in right out of high school and lead one of the hardest branches in student government. I also, in addition to that, have a lot of knowledge around all of the director positions. Not only was I in the student involvement, I am currently the student outreach director. I served as elections director. Last year I was the NSA assistant director. So I have a well-rounded experience of what CSUN needs and what CSUN needs as a vice president. Those are some great skills that the vice president needs to run their organization and department. In addition to that, I do think that personality is great, and that James does possess a lot of that, but everyone does. And if you're running for an executive board position, that you do need a great personality, and every single candidate has that. Has the smile, has the look. It comes down to the knowledge and skill set.
Okay, a first rebuttal. James?
well, everything that my opponent has said is interesting. I believe that it's great to know all the director positions. That's an awesome thing to know, is every little detail about what this director does, what that director does. But let me talk to you about, from my experience being the marketing director, it's pretty much integrated into every single directorship position. It's so complex that we pretty much are in all of the other positions. You just have to figure out a way to get that out to the students. So you have to be really creative, and you have to constantly be innovative and thinking of new things. Okay, how can we get all of these things that all of our directors are doing, how can we get that out to the students? And yes, personality is huge, and that is something that I do possess, but other than personality, it has to be getting the job done, and I believe that I can get that done.
Kanani?
So James is currently the marketing director, and I think he keeps talking about it because that is his only experience as a director in CSUN. He doesn't have a well-rounded experience of all of the CSUN director positions. For instance, he and I have never spoken about any flyers for any organizations, or whether he's well-rounded in all of the director positions. He has not interacted with all of the directors. And to be a supervisor of the directors as vice president, I think that is a major necessity, to be able to know all of the director positions and know what goes into each and every one of them, not just a handle on the marketing department, because the marketing department deals with graphics and deals with the marketing table, which a lot of the assistants and associates take care of, because making a marketing schedule is not all that difficult.
just don't care. And, you know, we are a commuter school. That's UNLV. You know, I always ask myself, why don't they care? Why isn't this a more of a community school here on campus? And you know what? I just accept the fact that, you know what, it's UNLV. It's just the way it is. But as CSUN, as an organization who is here for the students, to serve the students, we should be the ones caring and at least trying to make some sort of a community to reach out to all these works. I believe that my marketing experience, and I know I keep talking about that because I do believe it is so important, because that is the face of the organization to the students. Not only to the students, but also the students in other organizations and within our organization. So you need to be constantly communicating with people. And you know, there is a problem with the communication, and that is something that I myself am constantly working on a daily basis. Not just professionally or in CSUN, but in my personal life. So I believe going out there and just reaching out to students and telling them why we care, and you know, saying like, hey guys, you know, this is something that affects you. You know, we got to reach the hearts of the students, and I feel like, you know, sometimes we don't do that, but we're trying our best to.
Thank you.
The issues, and I have to go off of James real quick. I agree that marketing is important. However, I don't believe it's the face of CSUN. Everyone knows CSUN by Parties in the PIDA, Rebelpalooza, scholarships, not marketing table. Our marketing table at CBC or WRI is not affecting the students the way it should be, and I definitely think that is something that needs to be fixed. But flyers get thrown on the ground, so it's not as if someone is taking home the flyer and memorizing to come to the debate today. A lot of issues that face the students, though, is that it's a commuter school. Students complain, or people complain that it is a commuter school. Not many people live on campus. However, I believe as vice president, it's your job then to make students want to be on campus. And so as vice president, I plan on making sure all of the directors plan events that energize and interact with the students, making them want to be on campus and not go home right after their classes. Things that keep them here because they're here for classes, so you might as well utilize the students while they're here. In addition to the issues that face the students, there's tuition, obviously, and as the supervisor of the directors, one of the directors would be NSA, Nevada Student Affairs. The Nevada Student Affairs is kind of the liaison between the Board of Regents and CSUN, along with the president and executive board. What I can do as vice president would be to help the NSA director get students to go to Board of Regents meetings by catering a bus or doing something to get students energized, because that is an issue. And if students know about the issue through student government and we do our job, then they'll be energized to go and fight for their rights.
Thank you, James. Your final comments on this question?
Well, just to clarify that marketing isn't just a marketing table, it's also integrated in the parties and the PIDA and every single event that we do as well. So as my opponent said, I keep talking about the marketing table. I'm not just talking about the marketing table, I'm also talking about party in the PIDA and our NSA events as well that talk about, you know, the tuition increases and really important decisions that are going on up top. And yes, you know, students either care or they don't care when we tell them about these events on campus. At least we're trying. You know, that's the one thing that I can say is we're giving it a shot. And you know, there's a lot of things to work out, but I feel like, you know, as from my experience, you know, dabbling in all these different areas, that we can reach out to more students. We can be more creative in our ways of reaching out to students, and we can let them know with our NSA and other stuff to fight tuition increases. So, thank you.
Connie?
Okay, so I don't think giving it a shot to reach out to students is the way that CSUN should be operating. We need to reach out to students, not just try. And new and creative ways of marketing would be that way of reaching out to students. Specific ideas would be great, especially like my app idea that gives students access on their phone to see what CSUN's up to today, an app that can be, you know, updated on the hourly basis. As far as issues that face the students, you know, we are students, so we know the issues and we can fight for them. And I think it's important to represent the students and be well-rounded in knowing the issues through the directors.
Alright, so I just want to let you guys know that I was brought into CSUN last July, and the way I found out about CSUN was through actually a marketing table in one of the events where President Ciabola was doing his free lunch, and I decided to, you know, go to one of the free lunches. So we went to Chipotle with me and about 5-6 other students, and we talked about what's going on campus and the issues, and he wanted to hear our opinions, which was something that I never, you know, knew about before, and I thought that was great. So I kept seeing President Ciabola around campus, and he would always, you know, talk to me about, you know, what do you think about this, and, you know, wanting my opinion. And he eventually approached me about applying for a assistant marketing director position. And I applied, and I got accepted, and that was my beginning into CSUN last fall. So, you know, I've felt out other organizations. It's never been something that really stuck to me. And ever since I've been in CSUN, I've just, you know, dedicated my time to helping out as many events as possible. Any parties in the PIDA, you know, all of the open house events I go to. So I've just been there and showing people that, you know, I'm dedicated and I'm supported to this organization. And ever since then, I moved up to associate marketing director, where I had the responsibilities of doing the schedule and managing the marketing table and dealing with all the senators and everybody else in CSUN. And then eventually I got bumped up to marketing director, which is my current position, and I feel that, you know, I wouldn't move up as fast as I did if I didn't possess the skills and someone didn't believe in me and I didn't have those qualities that I believe the vice president position should be possessing. And I feel that, you know, this is something of purpose, and I'm excited to have you vote for me next election.
Thank you, James. Kanani?
Okay, so as you all know by now, the vice president is over the directors and assistants and associates. One of the main reasons that I wanted to be vice president was because I wanted a stable student government. Within the current administration, there has been 3 resignations / you know, let-goes of directors, and that is one way that James was able to move up to marketing director because of other directors quitting or not being in CSUN any longer. I, however, was hired as elections director and as assistant director last year and have moved around within my department. However, I was hired for a reason. I am the best and most knowledgeable candidate on all the departments in CSUN, which would impact the students immensely at UNLV. I work hard and uncompromising for the students and know what they need and what they want to see on campus every day. I can assure you, if you vote on April 9th and 10th for myself and my ticket, that we will work hard and ensure the best student government next year, and do everything in our power to make sure that that happens. As vice president, I plan on making the directorships more efficient and working with the students to not waste students' money or time, because we are all